Hi, welcome back to another episode of Time Out with Gabby. With me here is the current reigning Alberta Drag superstar, Stretcher Hymen. How
Yay.
you feeling today?
Good.
Good to see you. It's
Good.
been 2 months now, right?
2
2 months.
months. Yeah, it's been about 2 months since I won ANS.
That's
So
great. And you have
yeah,
this lovely crown from Hymen Design.
yeah. On my little goat.
Woo, woo, woo.
Somebody literally gifted me this. Yeah,
Really?
for my goat number.
Your fans are literally crazy. Like
hmm
your fan
I don't know if
base.
you can tell, but in the video, somebody also made me a painting once. Yeah,
Oh my
Mark.
god.
Mark. Yeah, Marineland.
Your
And
fans are crazy. I must say that because they've
yeah,
been behind you solidly. Like nothing can stop you. Really.
literally. I think State calls it the stretcher effect.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want to walk us through your preparations for the competition and
Yeah.
up to the big day when you won everything.
I mean, it does start like a while back. So in 2018, I had joined a burlesque troupe called Class and Sass Productions at the time, and now they're called Raspberries.
Mm-hmm.
And both Fairmont and Ruby were in the troupe. And I think my first drag show that I went to was the 2018 finale of Anne's, where, or maybe one of the semis or prelims. Ended up seeing Duke Carson
Oh,
win, one of the only other king who's ever won Anne's.
in Edmonton?
In Edmonton, yeah, he's
Oh,
actually from Calgary. He doesn't perform anymore,
I thought you were
but
the first king.
oh no, no, it was Duke Carson. And I remember watching him win, and I was like, the first time I ever saw a drag king, like it was so interesting to me. And I also watched Pheromone perform. And the next year in 2019, she had me do her choreo for her and backup dance. And then we did that. We did the whole run through. We made it to the finale to get like, as a little group. It was awesome. And then 2020, it was the same thing. I'd done a bunch of choreo for her, and of course pandemic happened. And then 2022, she did it again, and that's when she won. And I did her choreo, and I was on stage with her. And so when I was coming into this one for this year, I was waiting for Rob to announce it in 2023. I was so mad he didn't. I really wanted to have a go at it myself, because I'd
Yeah.
always been like behind the scenes.
You think
And
so?
what's that?
You think you've been behind this? Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
like
backup dancing.
yeah,
Yeah, I get it,
yeah.
yeah,
I
I
was
get
like
it.
behind the scenes with Pheromone for it,
Yeah.
right? So I like really wanted my own go at it, and like I think because I had like helped backstage a lot, like I kind of like I
Helps
just
you,
I
yeah.
just like knew what I should bring. So it was like thinking about like how to present Stretcher, but then also how to present something that would like, be also accepted in that space. Like
Yeah.
I find with drag, you always have to adapt your drag to where you're doing it and to who the audience is, and and that I think that's how I end up being so versatile. It's because I'm willing to change, my art, not like at its core.
Yeah.
Like there's always Stretcher there, but like I'm always I always want to like push myself to like see what I can do to entertain people, because we're there to entertain. So like how do I bring myself through anything that I'm doing?
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my yeah. I had yeah.
And you ended up having two backup dancers for the first one, right?
So basically I had Gabe Autumn and Honeymoon for the whole
I was so
thing.
surprised. I was like, oh, I didn't know Honey could dance like
I know. I think
that.
they did musical theater.
Oh yeah, I
Um
know. I
and
interviewed them and they told me they have a
yeah,
background in that.
yeah. And yeah, they both offered to help. I kind of just put it out there to see who maybe would want to do it, and they were the first two people to answer, and I was like, this is a perfect pairing.
Yeah.
I would love to also like bring Kings along with me through the journey. And Gabe Autumn unfortunately got sick like 2 days. It was like Wednesday. They got sick and they couldn't do it. So then I had just did the choreo for Rocky Horror Picture
hmm
Show. We did the auditions, and I saw Passerine there, and I'd seen them before on
Oh yeah,
stage,
that's a good one
and
too.
I was like, this kid can dance, and
I saw
so
some clips on Instagram on
yeah,
the Rocky show and I'm like, That was the star of the show.
Yeah.
Put me to say.
Yeah. They're incredible. And so I like in my head I was like, hey, who do I message? Who can I ask within 2 days?
To learn everything. You guys have been rehearsing for days.
Yeah, so like Pastor Ian's a legend and stepped in and learned the choreo, and so they did the first number with me, the prelims with me and Honey. And it was so great. It was so cool. It was so much fun, the goat number.
Yeah.
I was actually like, I knew I wanted to bring comedy because I've always done comedic and camp numbers. I don't know what, I think I was on Instagram and I saw somebody doing street jazz to the Sound of Music soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, the goat song.
That, yeah.
Like I forgot they had a goat song. And then I was thinking about Melinda with her like iconic
Goats, yeah.
like goats thing. And then I was like,
Really
what if I,
goats.
like, how can I
Mixed
smash
it.
this together? And then I was like looking up songs that had the word like Valentina. What was her? I was feeling my goats. Vivian Westwood.
Yeah.
Vivian Westwood.
Inspiring.
And then Rich Girl came up, and then it was like, you know, and then it turned out that I forgot that Gwen Stefani had done a sample of the Goatherd song from Sound of Music for one of their songs.
Really?
Yeah, and that's how, so I put that in the mix. Vespa was like, oh, aren't you gonna add in this song? And then it just like kind of came together, and yeah. And then I borrowed the chest plate for that first one from Gay Bottom, and then I made the pants and the rest of the goat costume. Yeah.
I know the next level was actually sickening as well. You want to talk about the concept?
Like the Kiss one?
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. So that was in my like, I have a drag notes. I think everybody does, right? We're on the notes app and you have all your drag ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had Kiss impersonation in there for a really long time. And then I watched Pearl Sarcier do this like titty tassel thing with like sparklers. And I texted her. Yeah. Yeah. I texted Pearl and I was like, may I like steal this idea? And she's like, yeah.
Nice.
And she said, you should also add them onto your boots. And I was like, that might be
too much.
I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Like lighting everything up is just intense. And man, the way I like drilled in exactly how they have to hand them to me so they were on the right way.
Yeah.
Because they were hard to make. I added, instead of just one like one sparkler, I had 3, and like, you know, it's like made out of like some heavy, like it's a little bit of a heavy like metal, right?
Yeah.
Like a piece, and like, so like they would like, I test ran them, like I test ran them a lot. Like I was like at home just folding like Eva foam.
Titties, honey.
Yeah, it was like, I didn't burn anything. I just burnt my floor upstairs a little bit. I got like there was a rogue.
Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, I made the tassels out of Eva foam, and then kind of like use some E6000, some hot glue. Yeah.
So on the finale, what was going through your head? Because like that day was like the biggest out of all the previous levels. What was going through your head, like seeing your other competitors? Like, can you walk us through?
Where was I at? I don't know.
This moment.
It was a lot. It was really a lot. I was very like, I walked in being like, there's a very small chance that you win this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what the people
It's a 50-50 thing.
Well, not even. It's like a 1 in 6 chance, right? Like there's 1 in 6 of us backstage. I didn't know what the people from Calgary were bringing.
True.
You know, I didn't know what like Edmonton was bringing. So I walked in there just being like, you know,
be you.
Have fun. Don't expect to win. Just, you know, do your best. I was like the most nervous about my fantasy look because it was kind of shit, to be honest. Like,
which one is it? The Jesus one?
That was the Scorpio look.
Oh no, that was sick, man.
It wasn't bad. Like, myself and LaDonna Stone kind of like smashed it together on the Wednesday beforehand. My main focus on making things was the performance look. I made the skirt for the Q&A look.
Yeah.
And then I just added like reveals and snaps and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's the one with the feathers, right?
Yeah, that was, so Honeymoon made the feather piece.
Nice.
My friend Judah made the chainmail. Like I'm wearing one of his necklaces right now.
Oh, nice.
And then Secretia made the wig.
Mother.
So yeah, your mother made the wig. It was my first helmet, but I made everything for the performance look. Um, and then yeah, for the fantasy look, I had something. I don't know. It came together. It worked. It stayed together on stage. It could have been elevated. There's no doubt. It could have been elevated. I think it was difficult because I've never seen anybody do like a scorpion look before. It's a
Yeah.
very weird shaped, like,
I think it's something you just need to stand with. Like
yeah,
picture for your picture or something.
yeah. I think like my body shape wasn't great either. Where like the EVA foam that we used, like I kind of didn't look cinched in the middle. You know what I mean? And then
Who
there was just like,
cares? You won at the end of the
yeah,
day.
I,
Number
it was
one,
it
drag superstar, no better.
with the fucking Scorpio look. Oh, I don't know. Sammy was giving me shit. They were like, "You need to bring me that costume so I can fix it for you."
Ooh.
I was like, "Yeah, I should really." But yeah, the plain black like leotard underneath
Yeah.
was it wasn't given. It wasn't given what it wasn't giving full
Well,
fantasy,
that's what you
but
think. You know, as performers, there are things we do, and
yeah,
we're like, oh my God, we don't want people to notice this. Like, not everyone is going to notice things, you
it's
know?
true.
It's
That is
all up in
true.
our head, like, oh, so yeah. I really didn't know anything. I was just there to have fun because that day was a real, lot of emotions, a lot of high energy performances.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell who was gonna win. I can't even imagine myself in that position, like in a 3-way battle. How was that like?
I
'Cause
had a great time, honestly. Okay, so Jane backstage was so sweet. And she was like, "Come here, I want to show you something." And she showed me she had that car. And I was like, "Oh, word."
oh,
I was like, "If you're on stage with me, I'm absolutely getting
right
in the
in it.
car
That
with
was
you."
sick.
Yeah. And so when her name was announced, I was thrilled because I knew there was going to be a big campy prop on stage that I could use. I love doing campy numbers. Like I love
Yeah.
making. I was gonna take the piss anyways because it was a Barbie song, right?
Yeah,
And I was like,
true.
I gotta come out as Ken. Like I gotta finish as a king, you know. So I was like, I was more than thrilled, and yeah, it was just fun, you know. I was just having fun by that point. I felt really good about my performance. Like I felt very strong with my like
Yeah, I
Jesus.
love that. Yeah, the red,
I was
everything.
just felt I felt cunty. You know what
You
I
feel like
mean?
a superstar.
Yeah. And then I really liked my like Q&A look. I felt like my answer was well received. And then yeah, by the time we got around to the final lip sync, I was like I did vomit before, I'm not going to lie. I was
Really?
like backstage like dry heaving a little, but
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I understand. It's just like,
It was intense. It
yeah,
was really intense.
different type of emotions. But
Yeah.
congratulations once
Thank
again.
you so much.
So how's life been ever since you won? After you won?
I mean, like up and down for sure. You know, I don't think it's a secret that I've been like bullied for winning,
Mm.
right? And honestly, like I said, when I walked into that space that day, I was like, I was ready to not win, you know? Like
Yeah, you
anybody
never knew you were gonna
anybody
win.
is deserving of it, right? Like it is just a competition, like, you know, in Alberta for drag.
True.
Like, you know, my biggest thing is I was just happy to like put out stuff that I was proud of. You know, at every stage I like got better at sewing. I understood how to work with different materials. You know, it was
Different
like different
characters,
characters.
representation of kings as well.
Yeah, it pushed me to do like different kinds of choreo that I hadn't done in a while. Like all of the experience of doing it was so much fun for me. You know, like it was a huge focus for a couple months, right? But I was relieved after as well that I didn't have to think about Anne's and like the next step
That
anymore.
was
That was the biggest gift at the end of the day, was like not having to think about what I had to make the next day.
You know, when I performed and I
Hmm.
didn't make it through the finals, I was like, huh. I mean, I felt some type of way, but then I'm like, this is gonna save me a lot of money.
Yeah.
honey, like, cause the fantasy look, the this, I'm like,
Well, you had that big flower fantasy, like you had the flower for your
Yeah,
fantasy
that was what
look.
I was gonna use, but I
Yeah.
didn't make it through. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Today, it's not the end of the world. Like eventually, we can always try next year or the
Yeah.
year after.
Do you
So
think you'll try next year?
and well, maybe
Yeah, I think
because
you
I think
should.
after and I learned a lot, right? And I really personally, I know it's not about me, but I think it really improved after my aunt's performance.
Yeah, like you actually start to think about like,
How could you have been better? You know?
well, and also again, I think it comes back to that entertainment thing is like, how can I continue to push myself to be a good entertainer? That's my job at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I do drag for myself. I do.
which is great.
We all do. It's like
Yeah.
it's part of our self-expression. It's part of my self-expression. I love the art form, but at the end of the day, I'm still thinking about how I can better do drag to be a better entertainer, I guess.
That is correct.
Yeah. So I think Anne's is there for that. It's there for that growth. I really wasn't expecting to win though. I really not my first round of it. Literally, it was my first time doing it.
And that's true. You won on your first round, you know.
Yeah.
I know I spoke to Fimon and Fimon was like, well, she didn't win on her first time. I was like, okay, that's fair. Not everyone is gonna be first time winners, but it is what it
It was
is.
kind of really nice having like my drag sister hand me the crown. Yeah, it
Right.
was cool. I was like, I think we're gonna do a little photo shoot together with
You
our
haven't done
crowns.
any?
It's been busy. Like it's been weirdly like busy, not busy. I also want to make something that matches the stones on
Well,
this.
yes, that's true.
Something with like purples and browns and some
You know, this time
silver.
I actually have a purple outfit in my head, but
Oh, could I? Could I borrow it? We could talk. We could talk. Yeah, I do. I really would like to make something, and I haven't had like Darla and I've been talking. I did ask
Darla
her.
is so amazing.
I
Like,
know, and she has a vision. She said as well. So I think I'll just like see where she wants to shoot it, and then me and Pheromone can do a look together, and because her crown is blue.
oh, like, yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna sync it somehow.
yeah, match
Some
it
silver,
together. Yeah,
definitely.
silver. Um, and I don't know, like I don't know what I want yet necessarily to make, but I do want to make something and then do the photo shoot. I mean, I have a fucking year at least to like get it
Yeah.
done, but I'm pretty busy for June, so I have to.
Isn't everyone busy?
It's it's bad. It's bad, Gabby. I said bad. I said yes to too many gigs.
Well, I think I did as well. But what I'm doing is now I just learned a choreo yesterday, and I'm
Okay,
like, I'm gonna do this one number all through June.
so smart.
Just different outfits, same
You
number.
know,
Because
you know what I said? I was like, I'm gonna literally just do Kiss the entire month. It's gonna be like the Grinch when I do Grinch in December.
exactly.
One guy, that's all you get.
Different crowd, honey.
Yeah.
if you show up at the same gigs, like
That's your fault. Oh my god, there was I think it was Blush. Blush literally saw me do the Grinch, like I swear 2-3 times during like, and I apologized. I was like, you gotta stop. I think Starstruck as well had seen it like too many times. I was like, this is actually getting embarrassing for me. Like I really need to switch up this
Well, I think
piece.
it's different venues, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
different. It was
but
different.
if you're gonna be there all the time,
Yeah.
well, you know what you're expected.
I was hired to do one thing. Like I was like, what do you want? But yeah, I was thinking I'll probably do my Kiss number a lot through June just because it was one of my favorites. I'll make a family friendly version of it too for like Drag
Nice.
Fest. Um, I'm doing my ranch number again for Strip and Slide.
I have a show on that day,
I know it's
unfortunately.
okay. A lot of people do. Um, it's fine. That's what happens during Pride Month,
Yeah, everything is so busy.
especially the first 2 weeks. I find. I don't know what else do I have that I'm gonna like kind of switch it up. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of happens, and like the hard thing with the Kiss makeup though is like, what do I do for a second number? You
True.
know, like you kind of
That's why I
have to.
prefer shows with just one number, because that way you're just you're done, you know?
Yeah, I that's a nice thing with Strip Inside is I do like I kind of like Bo Creep where you like Bo Creep's All Tease All Shade. He has these you do one act and then you can
Yeah.
really commit to that one act.
That's what I try to do for my show as well.
Yeah, yeah, and I like so that's how I was able to do Nanalan
Yeah, because
because there was
obviously
one
green.
act. It's like there's no that's one number that's it, and yeah, so I kind of started doing that for Strip Inside so people could actually get messy.
Yeah.
They can actually like commit to the bit because it's hard when you have to do
Do
two
two numbers
acts. Yeah,
after you made a mess.
yeah, on yourself.
Nice.
Really. So yeah, I really enjoyed your show for Nanaland. That
Thank
was fun.
you. I try to host one of the best shows in the city.
Yeah, I've been enjoying your work, girl. It's been good. It's been
I'm
really
gonna
good.
take a break after this one because it's just a lot to process.
What is your next one?
It's Post by Nature. I know there are no drag kings because people are coming from you already. Oh, we don't have drag kings, but at the end of the day, I only what's it called? Book people who have been on my podcast, So I think
Oh,
if
you got to
interviewed just a
start.
handful of drag kings, So and I've had them on two first shows, so
You got to
just give
start
me a
doing some
break.
more. Start
Yeah,
talking to the boys.
right. I'm trying my best
Yeah, I was like, all you kings, you better start doing interviews with Gabby.
because they're all busy, right? Like I
Yeah.
know I reached out to TOWG last year. Was it last? Yeah, last year. And the other kings, but they've all been busy. But we've been in the same shows, and I keep reminding them. So
I was like, they just don't want to be perceived.
right. I mean, like some people have told me they don't want their story to be on my podcast. I'm like, oh, that's fair. Like
It's
it's not
totally
like we're
fair.
talking about something too deep,
You
but
know what? This year I actually like tried to be more conscious about like I've had shows where I haven't booked kings. I know I'm a king, but it's still important. It's like but it's still important that like I book, kings as well, right? Like that's part of my duty as a king is also to book kings. Like it just the way the cookie crumbles. So I like yeah, I've been making more of a conscious effort this year to do that, just out of like
yeah,
love for the kings in the scene. And there's just been such a beautiful up and coming natural like you know um I don't know, it's like brotherhood, like it sounds really straight, but we've been, I don't know,
kingdom.
Tugs and Moses hosted a like beautiful like king paint night where Sammy like taught everybody a king paint, and it's just been like it's been it's just been really nice lately. Like it's been really, we've all been connecting. It's all been, you know, very reciprocal and
Yeah,
supportive. And Land Insider's coming this weekend, and I'm like
yeah.
so stoked to meet him. And I know I'm not in it. I know you're looking at me being like, "What the fuck?" It's it is honestly
Honey,
I've
I didn't say anything.
well yeah
I'm
I
doing more looking than talking
yeah,
lately
more looking
because
than talking. Yeah, honestly, I've been booked for a lot of Rue girls. I've been one of the kings who's been very, very privileged and blessed with my bookings.
yeah,
I
true.
cannot, like, it is such a bad energy to put out there when you're not booked for something and being upset about it. And I know how privileged I've been with being booked the way
Yeah,
I've been. So I I'm excited just to sit front row.
yeah, that's
I got my
true.
meet and greet. I'm gonna sit next to Darla and I'm gonna enjoy a really good fucking show.
Yeah,
You know?
sometimes I see I talk to some people and I'm like, oh, I want you to book me for your show. That was back then though. And
Yeah.
then next time they release like their poster without me in the show, I'm like, why should I be angry?
Yeah.
Why should I feel
I
entitled?
really try to not make like empty promises as well with people when when I talk about bookings and stuff like that. Like I try to be very, very careful about like never giving like empty promises for like future shows
Yeah, if
or
you
I'll
can't
have you
do
in
it,
the
don't
next.
promise people.
There's no point in saying I'll have you in the next one. I need to know when the fuck I'm doing my next show.
What the theme
What
is?
the
Do you
theme
fit the
is.
criteria? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's I really enjoy booking. I really enjoy casting shows. I think it's fun. I think it's like, it's interesting. You get to have people who don't work together in the same
Yeah.
room. Like,
True.
it's
It's kind of weird.
cute. It's cute. I love it. I've always enjoyed it, you know?
um, I see you do a lot of talking on Instagram, like a lot of activist work. Why do you think activism is, if that's a thing, is important?
I mean, everything is life is political, you know? Um, I think like maybe like yeah, I think I talked about this last time, a little bit of my background in political science and
Yes.
I was a paramedic for 5 years. I worked on a lot of reserves. Um, I worked on residential school files at the archives. I read the Oblates records, which is
Mm.
like the Oblates and Mary Immaculate were a genocidal organization that ran residential schools in Canada, and they ran about like 25 residential schools here in Alberta. So I think, yeah, life is always political, and there's ways to. I know my privilege, especially as a white person.
Yeah.
Um, Things that I do in life have impacts on others. It's like, yeah, it's always
What
yeah,
impact on others?
it's important shit. Like, it's shit we have to talk about. It's things that you need to share. It's like it's things you need to be aware of and like, a part of, especially as somebody who lives in a privileged space as a privileged person, I think, and more so.
Privilege.
Privileged.
What's your thoughts about the drag scene in Edmonton?
Oh my god, you just whiplash with the questions, Gabby. Holy fuck. You're like, so why are you political? What are your pins of the drag scene? Mama. It's been yeah, obviously there's been a lot that's going on. I think we are all very aware of that. Um,
I mean, as the number one drag superstar here in the city, like, what's your thoughts on it?
I hope the camera's catching the looks you're giving me. You're so funny. My God, I am just grateful to have friends in the community that I love and that love me. I'm glad that I have friends that are kind to me, that show
Yeah,
kindness. I'm glad that people in the community show kindness towards me still. I'm glad that people are friends with me. I'm glad that I have respect from people. It's
people
not
respect you as well.
it's not all the time. There's a lot of people who don't respect me. I don't think that's like, you know, I don't think that's news to anybody. I think, I'm just grateful for the things that I have, and I actually try to focus on that. I also try to stay off like the online bandwagoning. Like if
Yeah,
you're on my close friends, it's like feet memes. Like
yeah.
it's like memes about, I don't know, like Fireball and like
Like, it's
it,
nothing is so serious, you know?
no, I've never like I mean, yes, I had to make a public post when I left the house of Hymen because I still had the last name, right? Like that was, but I tried to center it on like my experience, which was, I'm estranged from my biological family. This was my family for 5 years. I spent Christmases and holidays and important birthdays with them. Like this is hard. It's hard, and it's not a post to be like slander this, slander that,
Yeah,
like,
it's just about you announcing your departure.
yeah, like, but otherwise, yeah, I try in general, like, unless it's like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to I don't want to hop on the bandwagon in the participation of what I've seen. Somebody even asked me one time, they're like, oh, I was waiting for you to post your thing about this. And I was like, why? Why? I am political, but it's not going to be about like
People, yeah.
internal politics and the like scene. I've done it once, or like I've done it a couple times, which I think a lot of people are aware of. But it is not something I like strive to do all the time, and I'm not really interested in doing all the time. I think sometimes it's very performative and it's self-serving,
Yeah.
and I've done it and it has been self-serving, and that's that. It's not something I really want to do all the time or be a part of. um
Hmm.
I have my conversations with people,
Yeah.
but like Secretia said at her show, um like a normal person, just talk about it amongst your
Yourself,
friends
yeah.
in a room together,
That's why
and
there's a
then
close friend, whatever.
yeah, just keep it off the internet, or at least if you're going to bring it to the internet, make sure you've had a conversation with that person beforehand to let them know your grievances, or like you've actually directly communicated everything you're saying online that you're saying with the person directly.
Personally, when I see some people do things, I just think, oh, this person is literally going through a lot mentally. That's why I think.
Seriously.
So I
Seriously.
never take anything serious because at the end of the day, it's all gonna be you. You are the problem.
You don't know where somebody's at. You know,
True.
like you don't know where somebody's at and like the impact that the things that they say will have on that individual. And likely if you say something, it will always get back to that person as well. And I've had a
True.
lot of things said about me on the internet. I
Mm.
am aware of that, you know?
You
And I
classify those as noises or noise.
yeah, and it's like and you don't know where somebody's at and how that has an impact on them. So, it's kind
True.
of sad, you know?
Mental health is
So mental health week, yay. I think it's a mental health month. That's what the show was last night.
Oh
Evo.
yeah,
It was
that's
a mental health. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like almost 30. I'm trying to really like
live your life,
keep my shit
right?
offline, you know. And yes, like I said, the one time I did do it for sure. I did have a conversation with the person multiple times, you know, before I said anything. And that was that.
As it should be.
Yeah.
So what upcoming shows do you have in June? Where can we
Still-
find you in June?
Okay.
30 days.
30 days and 30 nights. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. I'm at Drag Fest
Mm-hmm.
on June 1st, doing
Okay.
the pink carpet. Yeah. And I am performing at 6:20 p.m. And then I'm at Evo that night.
Performing again?
Yeah, for Cedar Tea Show.
Oh my god.
With Plastica, Edmonton's drag
With
superstar.
Star.
And
I think I
then
should have gotten that, but robbed again.
I
I mean,
said,
that's what Plastica would say, that she was robbed. Every pageant seems.
oh my god. I don't know what else. I'm at a spotlight brunch with Pheromone
Oh, nice. Oh,
and
yeah, the one
Linda
with
and
the.
Amy Yonce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to be there. If it's not sold out already.
Yeah. And then I have oh my god, Honey and I wrote a drag play together. I'm doing another one this year for Next Fest.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats.
Yeah. So we have it on June 2nd, 5th, and 6th at the Roxy Theater. So that should be fun.
That's great.
Yeah. And then, of course, we strip and slide, Saucier,
And
June 8th at Evo. I don't think it'll be an issue.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think Rob will be okay with what we're doing. So hopefully he knows. It's been like it's clear that show is a mess.
Yeah.
The show.
I mean, I like the last one you guys brought like a float.
I need to get a kiddie pool actually
Yeah.
again. Yeah, that one has God and Agatas that I've been borrowing for like every single one, and I'm like I need to grow up and get my own. And then we'll probably also put down some like plastic material for some of the numbers. Yeah, we'll see what happens. You know what's funny? The Roxy Theater, so the like Next Fest.
Mm-hmm.
After I did that ranch number last year, this year they sent out a memo that said like no mess without permission, and they specifically wrote like no disgusting food, no ranch. No ranch.
Oh my god.
It was the funniest thing ever. And when I was talking with Ellen, who's the director of the festival, she was like, Stretcher, we had to put the hammer down after what you did last year. Like, I made her vomit. She said she loves ranch, and for like 3 weeks, she couldn't even look at it. 3 to 6 weeks, she couldn't even look at it.
Oh my god.
And I was like, yeah, my impact.
Well, that was a great show.
It was bad. I really took it. Eggs is also I think Eggs produced, they produced the Smut Night, and they were like, they told me to fucking give her bud, and so I just, I did, and we went there. So now it's banned. Now it's banned from.
Oh my god.
Now it's banned from Next
You
Fest.
ruined it for someone else.
I literally ruined it for everybody. But I mean, it went down in history, so I would have to say I might have merch that might be little bottles of ranch for stickers.
Okay. Where can we find you on Instagram?
At Stretcher Strawberry still.
Do you have anything to say to your fans?
I love you.
Oh my god, I can. Thank you so much.